can negotiate. A school, you will do 20 back and forth email with a school, negotiating, and most often than not, you're going to win that negotiation. Exactly. Even some people don't even know that scholarship can be negotiated. A school will give you $5,000. You will tell them to give you more. Whoa! Okay, so today I will be talking to you about how to get admission and scholarship even if you have low grade. How to get admission and scholarship abroad even if you have low grade. Okay, so the question is, can you actually get admission or even scholarship? Let's say if you have 3rd class, 2nd class lower, or let's say in your masters you had a very low grade. Can you get admission abroad? Can you get scholarship abroad? I'm sure you must have been wondering about this, right? Okay, my name is Dr. Linda Iheme. I'm an educational consultant with Vantage Migration. All right, myself and my team, we help graduates who want to relocate abroad to successfully go through the study abroad route, even if you have 3rd class, 2nd class lower, or generally if you have low academic results. All right, and I'm not here alone. I'm not here alone today because for someone that may be watching this, if you know me very well, you will know that I graduated as the best student from my university since it was founded, University of Benin, as a dental student. So because of that grade that I have, most people tend to feel like, oh, Dr. Linda is talking about scholarship. Dr. Linda is talking about studying abroad. Dr. Linda is talking about this. Dr. Linda is talking about that. It's because she have good grade. But I am here to surprise you today. So I have brought with me an awesome guest. So there is something unique about her. This particular guest, I'm going to be bringing her online right now. She had a 3rd class. She's a barrister, she's a lawyer, she has a 3rd class, but yet she's currently studying abroad in one of the renowned schools. Isn't that amazing? I also know that while she was doing her study abroad process, she also got some scholarships. You're going to hear more about her from her. Okay, so today I'm going to be bringing on board Barrister Gunan. Of course, she also she's someone who has benefited from Vantage Migration Masterclass. How are you?
I'm fine. Hello, good evening. Okay, so I am Gunan Yaron Aloha. I am a barrister of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and I'm currently in United Kingdom studying comparative and international social policy in one of the top universities in the world, University of York. And I got admission early this year, and I've been here since September. But before I got to this stage, I've also been trying to get admission in other schools, and I got admission in different schools in the UK and in the US. And despite my grade, which was 3rd class, I got scholarship in United States. I got scholarship in over 60% scholarship in United States. But I had personal reasons why I didn't go to United States, and I chose United Kingdom. So you're able to get scholarship even with your 3rd class, and the masterclass was able to help me a lot because I learned how to do so many things that were very impactful to me during this process. It brought knowledge for me, which was very instrumental to how I was able to negotiate with the school to even get the 60% scholarship that I got. And when I even got that 60% scholarship from the school in US, which was the Brilliant University, Hela School of Social Policy in US, I got 60% scholarship. I still got an external scholarship from the International Peace Women Fund of $5,000 from them. So I got numerous scholarships like that. And then in the United Kingdom, I also got scholarship from University of Bradford, £5,000 scholarship from University of Bradford. But I decided to go with University of York because I just wanted more. And it was amazing for me because I'm a 3rd class student. The first thing, when I went to the school website and I saw the requirements for you to get admission, You needed to even have a 2-1 before you'll be able to like send in your application and all of that. I didn't let that stop me. In my third class, I didn't let it stop me. Because during one of Dr. Linda's masterclass, she would always tell you that by the time you have this knowledge, you're able to have confidence to really negotiate a lot. You're able to know the right steps to take towards acquiring that particular deal or goal that you want. So because I have a third class doesn't mean I would choose to go to just any university or let my grades stop me from really accessing the kind of knowledge that I want to access or experience. So with that in mind and having that knowledge and power already, when I was already talking to schools, sending emails, if you send me an email that maybe I'm not qualified, I knew how to reply back, to respond back, because I already had information now that even with my grades, I'm still able to access this particular opportunity. And with that, I applied to University of York. And regardless of my grade, there were other documents that they looked at and they were still able to call me in for an interview, and I got my admission. In fact, after my interview, my grade was rated to the grade of a first-class student, and I got my admission in standard. I got my admission 2 days after my interview. 2 days after my interview, I got admission at the University of York. I also sent in application for University of Nottingham. And at first, when I just sent in my application, they thought a class. Within a week, they sent me a message that was sorry, we can't take you. Your grade is too low. It's too low. And I sent them a mail back. I told Dr. Lina, I'm like, this school rejected me. But with what you've taught me now, I'm able to challenge this decision. And she was like, yes, go for it. And I sent them a mail. I said, did you look at my other documents? You can't look at just my certificate and conclude that I'm not good enough for the course that I've applied for. And when they went back and looked at my documents, when they saw my message at first, they felt like, for this person to probably even send this message, there should be something. So let's review her admission process again, her documents and all of that. And they did. They reviewed my admission process, the documents I submitted, and 2 weeks later, I got a message, I got a mail from University of Nottingham that I've gotten admission. And I was like, it's too late. I've selected another school, so I won't be going to University of Nottingham anymore.
Let me jump in here. So, yes, you are studying at University of York now. Of course, you got admission in other countries, right?
Yes,
and scholarship.
yes.
But I'm going to even dive into those in a moment. But let me talk about what you just talked about. So, a university rejected your application, and you wrote them back that they should look at your document very, very well. In such a way that by the time they eventually looked at it and then gave you admission, which means they changed their decision, you have already selected University of York. So you turned them down.
Yes.
Hi, God. Like, see, this story have remained in my head because for me, it is a great show of confidence. It's a great show of, you know, someone who knows how this works, right? So it's really amazing. That's why I wanted to actually bring out that point before somebody will lose it in all the things that you have said. And we're just going to even take them one after the other. The first thing here is that grade is not the only thing that is considered when admission is given. Grade is not the only thing. So if you have first class, awesome, good. You are just in my shoes. You can get admission. You can get scholarship. If you have third class, cool. You are also in her shoes. You can get admission. You can get scholarship. That is exactly what we are saying today. Some people make the mistake of thinking that their grade is the only thing considered by a school, but that's not correct. Grade is one thing, but even so much emphasis is placed on the documents you submit. Your CV, is it wow? Can somebody look at your CV and be like, who is this person? I want to meet them. Your personal statement and all the other documents that the school need the person to submit. So people like one of the message I want you that are listening to us today, one of the message I want you to take home with is that your grade is not the only thing considered by a school. Even if you have third class like her or you have first class like me, both of us, we've studied abroad. So what does that mean? Grade is not the only thing schools check before they give you admission. Let me dive more into that. Like, how did you feel when you were the one now telling the school that, see, I've already selected another university, I won't be going with you? How did you feel? Tell us more.
It was actually an amazing feeling because at this point, when I first of all knew about University of York, I researched a lot about it, and I discovered that University of York is among universities in the UK where they are considered like the Ivy League schools. So they call them the Rosette schools. So there are just few universities in that category. And about 3 universities in that category at this point have given me admission. University of Liverpool, University of York, and then Queen Mary University also gave me admission, Queen Mary University in London. So at this point, I had different choices to make. It was not a matter of, among these schools, which one is going to benefit me better? Where do I want to stay and all of that? And when I checked among all these schools, I decided that University of York was the best for me.
How did you feel writing them back?
It was awesome. Like when I first saw the mail, I was like, oh wow. So I could actually challenge a school like this and the decision would be reversed. So if I didn't send a message to this school, they wouldn't have given me admission, they would reverse this thing. But because I've spoken to them now, they actually reviewed my documents and they reversed their decision. So if I didn't do that, if I didn't challenge them, I wasn't going to be given any offer. That was the thing. I wouldn't get any offer. So maybe I would have just gotten the rejection mail. I would have cried about it. Oh, these people have rejected me. I have 3rd-Class. That's why they rejected me already. I should have known that a top school like University of Nottingham would reject me. And that would just really play on my sense of knowing that maybe I'm not qualified enough to even get admission in that kind of school. But instead, I felt like I was qualified based on my other documents, the way that I've worked them, the way it was reviewed. I already got, after review of the document, I already got like a pass from Vantage that your document is in check. Everything is in check. So now you go and just do your thing. So by the time I submitted the document and I was seeing rejection, the first thing I felt was not that, oh, because I have 3rd-Class, they rejected me. I was like, wait, oh, did these people even look at my documents where at home? Do these people see the qualifications that I have besides my grade? That was what was in my head. I felt really happy. I felt very powerful. I felt very confident that I was able to make a decision that would reverse something that was already said on me. So and I felt like that decision was going to maybe make them start looking at other people's documents even better. But the truth is, because they have a lot of applications, sometimes if you don't challenge or fight for yourself, that's how you lose opportunities. Good. So don't see every rejection and then just cry and say, oh, I wasn't qualified, and move ahead. Always challenge that document. But you also not be able to challenge the decision except you have the power of knowledge. So when you don't have that power of knowledge, you don't know what to challenge. What will you go and tell them? Exactly. When you know what to say, you have the power. You have the confidence. You can have a meeting with them and say, oh, look at this document again, reverse your decision because this is why I think I'm best for this course and for your school. And they're able to look at it and say, truly, she's actually qualified. But if your documents are not good enough, if you're not confident to do that, then you lose the opportunity, basically.
Knowledge is power, you know? Just like you're saying, like, somebody who doesn't even know that their grade is not the only thing that should determine whether they get admission or not, will not have the confidence to challenge a school when they say so. You see? Exactly. But when somebody knows, that's why they say knowledge is power. When you know, because you already know, when they, even if the school makes that mistake, you're able to call them out and say, hey, you're making a mistake here. You didn't take a look at my other documents. You just looked at my grade and denied me admission. Somebody said, Barrister, are you single? That's why I'm laughing. Oh my God. Oh, funny people. That was just a distraction. So knowledge is power, because when you have knowledge, you have confidence. When you have confidence, you're able to challenge any decision made that is not in your favor. Let me give another example with somebody else that we both of us know this person, but I'll just give Chineye, a school. She applied to a school. By the way, her own is not even that she has a low grade. Her own is that she has I think she has a 2-1. The school mistakenly calculated her grade to become 2 to something like that. And then the school said, oh, we're not going to give you admission because your grade is poor, something like that. Then, but because she knew how to calculate her CGPA by herself, especially the third year and fourth year that the school usually do, because of,
Yes.
you know, for people that attend Vantage Scholarship School, we share with them CGPA calculator or something that helps them to adjust their CGPA into Canadian standard or any of the high income country standard. So because she knew, she had done it herself, she calculated it. She was like, Dr. Linda, these people, they wrote me this thing, oh. Some people don't believe that schools can make mistakes. They don't believe it. They don't know.
Exactly.
And because they are not, even when a school make mistake, if you don't know what you are doing, you won't be able to catch the mistake. Yeah, you won't be able to catch it. So she was able to catch that mistake because she understood how to calculate her CGPA. So she was like, no, you people made a mistake. And she wrote them back. She provided proof and everything. And the school was like, oh, so sorry. Our mistake. We are going to review your admission again. This is somebody who already got an admission denial from that particular school. They were going to go back and review her document because she understood, she knows what it entails. She was able to point out to them that, hey, you made a mistake here. So it is human beings in these schools that are reviewing application. Mistake can be made at any point in time. But if you don't have the knowledge, you will not have the confidence to challenge it. You will not even know that a mistake has been made on your application.
Exactly.
So this is why we actually tell people to get trained. Get trained, get trained. I sing it like a morning hymn. Get trained, get trained, get trained. I'm sure some people say they are even tired of me saying it. Get trained. They don't understand the importance of getting trained. When you are trained and you know exactly what you're doing, there's so much confidence. That confidence, you can challenge anything. You can get anything you want. You can negotiate. A school, you will do 20 back and forth email with a school. Negotiating. And most often than not, you're going to win that negotiation. Exactly. Even some people don't even know that scholarship can be negotiated. A school will give you $5,000. You will tell them to give you more, that you want more, and they will honor it. Of course, it's not all the time. It's not all the time. But if you don't ask, how can you get? You know? So, and if you don't even know what to do, what to say, who to reach out to, because you are not trained, whose fault? You see? So a lot of people are losing things. So knowledge is power. And that thing that you did is so powerful. Some people will be like, so you just emailed the school. Is that what you did? Because they don't understand that it even takes confidence. It takes you knowing what is obtainable for you to be able to write those emails, right? Yes. So congratulations once again. You got so many admissions, thank you. And some people are busy crying somewhere that they have third class. That's why they don't have admission. So before we even go further, for somebody that have third class and they are saying they are not getting admission, what will you tell them?
I'll tell them to easily just get trained, because when they get trained, they don't know how exactly what to do to confront that issue of why they're actually not even getting admission. If you're not getting admission, obviously because you're not doing something right. There's no way you just not be getting admission. There's something that you're doing wrong, and that is why you're not getting the admission. For example, it could be that maybe you actually you'll be able to even get the admission, but they reject you based on your documents. I've seen people have second class upper and they did not get admission.
Even first class.
First class that did not get admission. So you have good grades, that's one thing. But are your documents okay? And the training advantage is so unique that it transcends beyond just you getting admission and scholarship, because it helps you even during school and beyond. And by the time you're in the training, you're learning how to do your CV, you're learning how to do your statement of purpose, how to work on your personal statement, the exact word, how to even reset and find your supervisor, all of those things. You learn all those things. And this is not knowledge that when you learn, it now leaves you. It's something that stays with you. It's something that by the time you learn, you start even doing for your own family members. If all of you want to Japan, all of you can start doing all of that together. So it's something that says is knowledge. It's like how you pay your school fees all through school, and at the end of the day, you graduate with a particular certificate, and maybe you learn. For example, as a lawyer, there are certain skills I have because I graduated with a law degree. It's the same thing. By the time you leave this course, it leaves you with a knowledge that is so powerful that it begins to even showing other things that you do that is not even like school related. For example, the power of negotiation, where you have knowledge and then you're also even talking to the school, negotiating and sending emails. You're able to take that to somewhere else beyond school. You're able to take that beyond, and then your CV that you're even using for your school, that Vantage has taught you how to use. By the time you get to school, you're probably even using that CV to get a job where you'll be located. So these documents are not just going to help you to get admission and scholarship. They're also even going to help you to land top jobs. And then even for your admission and scholarship, there are certain scholarships that specifically, they don't even look at your grade at all. So scholarships don't look at your grade. They look at your documents. So your document is your power. And the only way you know how to work on your documents is not by reading things online. A lot of people can put out things online there and you make mistakes. Everybody is an author. Everybody is a writer. Everybody writes things online. So by the time you pick up things people have written online, you even just go and copy and paste somebody's work. Plagiarism is very serious in these places. And they have tools to be able to check if you've used somebody's documents. So the document itself is like the super thing that, and I would just urge every single person, register for the course. Like, I think this next Monday is the last time for this year where
so when we're doing this, yes, our final master class is starting on
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, for 2021.
If you have plans to travel for school in 2022 for your September, just register and start your class by Monday. Because if you have people who would be discouraging you, advising you, trust me, they will come back later and be chatting other people and asking for ways to do it, but they'll be discouraging you. By the time you do that, doors open for you. And even besides admission, like scholarship, you're also able to access loans that you could use for your travel abroad. And that's another thing that Vantage is able to teach you. You're able to learn how to access loans in different countries, how to access different things that will just make even traveling easier for you. But there are other things that maybe I shouldn't talk about, but there are a lot of things that you would actually gain as the student with Vantage Migration, because it's the school and you're learning, and this learning is like a 5 weeks whole learning that is going to put you through a lot, and it's taxing, so it's not easy. By the time you see all like the things we know now is because we did it for a long time. Dr. Linda will drill you. She will drill you. It's not easy, but it's worth it because it will teach you a lot. You have a lot of power. You can speak. I was having meetings with the director of my department. When I was doing my interview, I was so confident. So it became like a chat. But this was because I've learned so much. I've learned to embrace that confidence now and the knowledge that I have. I'm able to speak confidently about those things, about why I wanted to go to that school, why I wanted to do that course. Because you learn things a lot about how you should even choose a course. Vantage is able to teach you those things. So that brings us back to, if you are not getting admission, there's something you are not doing correctly. You might be choosing the wrong course. You might be choosing the wrong school. You might be choosing even the wrong country. But with Vantage, you're able to learn exactly what country you should even go to school in, what course you should apply to, all those different things you're able to access it.
One other thing I want to talk about is, the power of confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is a situation where you already know something, and your brain is kind of looking out for something that we confirm that thing that you already know, right? So, for example, if somebody, based on their background and everything, they understand or they feel like with 3rd class, 2-2, or any low academic grade, you cannot get admission abroad or you cannot get scholarship abroad. Anything that points toward that direction, they'll be like, let's say they apply to a school, the school denied them admission. They'll say, I told Dr. Linda, I told her, with this my 3rd class, I cannot get it. Or with this my 3rd class, or with this my 2-1, I cannot get that scholarship. Because that person already have their mind focused on, like their background knowledge is wrong, and naturally humans are looking for what will confirm what they already know. So what the training does for this person, like Vantage Migration training does for this person, is it takes out that wrong thing that the person knows and replaces it with the correct thing that they should know. So when you now know that with a class or low academic grade or 2-2, you can get admission, you can even get scholarship, you can get multiple admission. When you know that, your brain will also be looking for things that we confirm that thing that you already know. This is when that power of confronting a school, should they even make mistake in your own application, right? So confirmation bias is real. It's something that happens to humans. But the way to cure it is to learn the right thing, so that your brain goes out looking for things that confirm the right thing that you know. So today, whether this person goes through our training or not, I want the person to understand that you have the class, you have you have masters with low grade, you have low academic grades in general, you can still study abroad, you can get admission, you can get scholarship, you can, even if you don't get full scholarship, there are loans that you can take to, whether it's for visa purpose or for you to spend while you're in the country. There are loans that can help you out irrespective of the country. Whether you're going to UK, there's a type of loan you can get. Whether you're going to Canada, there's a type of loan. Whether it's US, there's a type of loan, or any other country for that matter. So that's just, one thing. Another thing I want somebody to take away from here. Now, let me ask you a little bit. So you mentioned this before, but like I just wanted us to dedicate a session to it. The fact that you having 3rd-class, it didn't just end in you getting admission, getting multiple admissions, rejecting schools, but you were also able to, you got admission, you got scholarship from at least one school, right? And then you also got an external scholarship as well. Could you talk more about that?
Yes, so in UK here, I actually got, in fact, I think I got 3 scholarships from 3 different schools, because I got a scholarship in University of Liverpool, I got scholarship in University of Bradford, and then I got in US. So for US specifically, I got like a 60% scholarship. So like your fees is 100%. So 60% the school has given me off. So I just have to pay 40% of that money. They gave me that. That was the scholarship they gave me in school. And for this, I didn't have to even like submit a different application for it. My documents were powerful already, and they give you based on your documents. So if my documents were not maybe even good enough, they would have given maybe 20% or 30%. So they looked at my grade and they looked at my document and they gave me 60%. I know of somebody who said he had a 2-1 and he got 50%. I have a 3rd-class and I got 60%. So that means
60, you got 60.
Yes, I got 60%. So it meant that there was something I did that person probably did not do for me to have gotten more scholarship in percentage than that person who even had a better grade than I did. And after I got that particular scholarship, I actually still negotiated with the school for more, actually. I actually wrote back to them and told them that this 50% scholarship is not enough for me. I want more. And they were like, this is the more we can give, because we're trying to admit more students too and give scholarships to more people. And I was like, I cannot still resume your school because 50% is not enough for me. So if you can give me more. And they were like, okay, they'll get back to me if there's any meeting. They now gave me like links to other scholarships also in the school that I could look at to apply for. And then a friend also sent a scholarship for me, and I looked at it, and he said if you were schooling in US or Canada, you could apply for it, the International Women's Scholarship. And it was very competitive. It's very competitive, but it was not based on grade. It was based on need. So it was like a need scholarship.
That is one thing. Please wait. Let me peg it there. The International Women's Scholarship that you got was not a grade related scholarship, right?
No,
so yeah, of course, we've already talked about some grade related scholarship and school related scholarship and all that. But the fact that it's not all scholarships that are grade based, that are given to you based on your grade. So somebody can be applying to, let's say, like what you said, okay, you're a woman, you're applying to International Women's Scholarship, right? That's a scholarship down there that you can get, and it has nothing to do with your grade or whatever score you got in school. So when some people that have 3rd-class or 2 or low academic grade are saying that they cannot get scholarship because they're only thinking of like grade sensitive scholarships. So what that person has to actually do is look away from grade sensitive scholarships, and these are some of the things that we train the person on at Vantage Scholarship School as well. Sorry, I had to cut you short.
No problem at all. So yes, I applied for the NEED scholarship, and they give scholarship to a certain amount, and they give you based on the things that you need. So if you've gotten a certain scholarship from school already, they put that in perspective. If you have family support to a certain amount, they put that in perspective. So they now see the one that you now need, and then they give you a certain scholarship to like cover a certain percentage of something for you. And that's how I got $5,000 from there also. Then coming down to UK, there are certain schools where sometimes, based on the fact that maybe you're from a particular country, you're even able to just like access that scholarship immediately. You also don't need to submit like a different application. But by virtue of maybe you're coming from an African country or you're a Nigerian and you apply to that school, they give you scholarship immediately without you applying, and it's also not grade sensitive. It's not grade sensitive. So sometimes if you're even studying a particular course, maybe because the course is something that has to do with humanities and all of that, there's a particular, it's like they're even begging you to come and do the course. So there are certain scholarship amounts of money that they put there that you can come if you want to do that course. You already know that if I apply for this course, I'm getting £5,000. You already know that. So those kind of scholarships, I was able to access them. So there are different scholarships like that, and you're able to see so much, but knowing the right place to also search for them is important. I think where people apply for scholarship, like because you have fake scholarship as well. People apply and they will tell them to pay a certain amount of money to be able to access the scholarship and all of that. But with the training I received at Vantage, I was able to like pick out which is a fake scholarship, which is a real scholarship, because you're able to verify with the website that they are using, and you have other search engines that you just know how to be able to conduct your search in such a way that makes things easier for you. You're able to search for schools that have scholarship for your course of study when they have that when that particular scholarship is on, or you're also able to know maybe schools that you're able to easily access loan because you're going to a particular school. Because maybe you want to apply to a particular school, but maybe a loan body might not be giving scholarship to that your school. So there's a way Vantage is going to teach you, provide you with the tools where you're able to know the exact school that you could apply to be able to access
the loan eligible schools. Yeah, some people they make the mistake. They apply to schools that are not loan eligible.
Yes, and then they want to apply for the loan, and it doesn't work that way. So you're able to get all these tools. So if you don't get it already, you're doing something wrong. You're going about everything the wrong way, and that's going to waste your time. It's going to waste your money because you'll be spending money. Some schools you are paying application fee, you are doing all of those things, but you're not getting anything. But by the time you receive adequate training on how to do all of these things, it's long term. You know how to sit yourself. Nobody's coming to tell you that, oh, come and do this. You know how to do it yourself. You know how to put your documents right. You know how to get your statements of purpose. You know how to reach out to a supervisor. You know how to get the exact course that you should even. Sometimes somebody in a different course, they'll just go and apply for a certain course like that. You see the school just reject them. And some schools will not give you a reason why they are rejecting you. So you won't even know. So you will not be able to correct yourself for the next school you're applying to. But by the time you've come, you've learned, and Vantage provides this platform where you have direct interactions with Dr. Linda. So by the time you have issues with a particular school that you're working on, you're able to already bring these concerns. And at the spot, you're getting answers. So the training is not the one that is after you finish the course, after 10 years, you now start applying for school. As you are doing it, you are practicalizing the thing that is being taught immediately. So by the time you finish the course already, you have already applied to school. Because by the time you finish the course is like training you towards the line of today, this week we are doing this particular thing. Is that thing you will do? Because you submit assignments, you do classwork, you do all of those things. You prepare your document list and all of those things. You have your document ready by the time you finish the course. You've submitted to schools already by the time you finish the course. You are just waiting for admission.
Yeah, and even some people, they start the application even after the course. They continue the application because even school search, like school search is something that you search, you apply to schools, you continue the process. I remember one like a Vantage student that was. There are two of them that have sounded that way. The other one, by the time she finished the training and she was reaching out to supervisor, he's like supervisors just want her like this, and she was like, Dr. Linda, what is happening? I said, girl, they are hustling you. So like you can use, but again, again, just like what you said, it's hands-on. So you start the process when you start the training. It's not that after the training, then you come and start. No. And if somebody is doing it that way, that is not the way the program is structured. It will be that that person, just out of laziness or something else that was happening on their side, decided to do it that way, right? And that's not the best way, because we even want people to practice while they are with us so that they can ask more questions. So it's a hands-on process. And just like you mentioned before, while we were talking, the fact that even if somebody gets small scholarship, no scholarship, you know, we also teach that person how to get study loan so that they can fund their trip. Some people, they will come and reach out to me, Dr. Lydia, I've gotten my admission now, please can you direct me to loan? The answer is always no, because it's not all schools that are loan eligible. You understand? It's not all schools. So there is a loan strategy that is not just You have to learn it. You have to practice. You have to understand it. If not, you risk losing one more year. After you have gotten admission, you don't even know how to get scholarship. You don't even, the school is not even loan eligible. The person is just going to be spending one more year, or as the case may be. And for some people will be like, what's there? One more year, that's fine. Do you know there are people that their sponsors are still alive, and because they have to waste one more year, death took their sponsor. So for some people, they are waiting one more year, but for others, that 1 year transcends to everlasting. You understand? So don't say one more year. Some people, one more year, policy of the country you are going to have changed. So you can waste one more year, or 1 year plus X. that X could be 0 years or extra number of years, you know. So it's not just enough to say, don't worry, next year. Do you know what will happen next year? Like many things can happen, you know, including the ones that are peculiar to that person or not. Like, for example, I've seen somebody that said 1 more year, and that year they got married. The spouse said they don't want to travel again. That was the end of their travel abroad dream. And she was telling me, I said, well, sorry. I mean, she started when you wanted to start. Maybe the person will have seen you when you had your visa, right? And all that. So these are some of the things to put in place. So in summary, one of the things, like some of the things we've talked about today, is that grade is not everything that the school looks at. They look at the grade, they look at your documents, and so much emphasis are placed on your CV and other documents you are going to be submitting. So it is important to learn how to prepare wow documents, and we teach that at Vantage Scholarship School. The second thing is that knowledge is power. When you have knowledge, you're able to confront a school even if they make mistakes. You're able to negotiate and get more things. If a decision is made and it is not in your favor, you're able to, you know, you're able to notify the school and they're able to change it. So knowledge is power. How do you get knowledge? Get trained. Again, right? Then we talked about confirmation bias, and we're saying that when you don't know the right thing, every other thing that happens, you just want, it's like, oh, you have 3rd class, you think you cannot get admission, then you apply, the school did not give you admission, you just, I talk, you know. But if based on this session today, I believe that the person should be able to replace the knowledge, the old knowledge they have, with the new knowledge that we shared here today, so that they will have their confirmation bias will then work in their favor. When you know that if you have 3rd class, you can still get admission. When you have 3rd class and a school gives you does not give you admission, your confirmation bias will help you to question it until you get what matches what you already know. You know, and then we talked about the possibility of getting scholarships, both grade sensitive scholarships and non-grade sensitive scholarships, even if you have low academic grade. That's not the end of it. Oh my God, Gunan, the person have to actually see you, because you are so smart. I'm sure you must have had your mind in other things for you to even come out with 3rd class. We don't know what happened. Like, we just have to, I just decided not to question that one, but you are so smart. So I know that a lot of people that have 3rd class or low academic grade, if you talk to them, they're actually very smart people. So very smart people. So don't let the grade that is on a piece of paper then define you as a human being. You know, some people, they'll say, yeah, I have 3rd class. Like, it just defines them. They don't want to do any other thing outside that. They don't want to learn. They don't want to. That's not the way. You have 3rd class. We all know things may have happened. But is that you? Are you really, like, if you were to grade yourself in life, will you really give yourself 3rd class? You can have 3rd class in academics. Doesn't mean you're a 3rd class human being. You know what I mean? But this is what you have to show the school. This is what you have to show the school. And how do you show them? You show them from your documents, right? And for anyone that is listening today, and you may want to, you know, learn more about what we are saying, I will encourage you to attend our webinar. But before I talk about that, I'm going to say, Guna, what are your final words for the person that is watching us today who have a low grade?
The final words I have for anybody who has a low grade is start wearing your low grade on your shoulders, on your sleeves. Like, don't let it be the thing that people use to mock or shame you. Since from the day that I saw the 3rd class, I didn't even really feel sad about it. That was the honest truth. Because with the things that I went through, just like Dr. Linda said, there was a reason why I had the 3rd class. And so I don't let that define me. So I carry my 3rd class, I write about it anywhere, I speak it, I sing it, I sleep it. Because by the time you're confident talking about your grade in that way, that already boosts your confidence. It's like the next person is not even going to mock you. But by the time people are talking about, oh, I have 1st class, I have 1st class, I have 2-1, they're even scared because you have a 3rd class, that already shrunk your confidence. You're not able to like invest in yourself because you feel like even if you invest in yourself, what will it bring out at the end of the day? So the truth is, use your 3rd class and shine. Shine with it. I shine with mine everywhere. Any place, even when I was in law school, when I was doing my defense in law school, my lecturer was like, are you sure you graduated with a 3rd class? So show people that 3rd class really does not define you. That's the truth. And to be honest, to be fair, I actually left Nigerian law school with a 2-1. So you see how my university 3rd class did not define what I got later. In my university here, I'm intending to pursue the highest grade possible because I'm not going to let the 3rd class define me. I have classmates that have 1st class, 2nd class. We talk about it, we laugh about it. They already know that I have a 3rd class. I'm not hiding it. So when you start hiding what you have, when you're shamed already, that's your first step to failure. When you're feeling depressed, you're feeling shamed that, oh, I have this particular grade, I'm nobody. When people just start talking, you just go into yourself. Be brave. Jubilate, celebrate your 3rd class. There are other persons that didn't even go to school at all. There are other people who didn't go to school, but they're able to do other things. And they're still like going really high in life. They're still very smart people. And you're also smart. So your smartness is not in your certificate that is showing 3rd class. It's in what you're now doing now. So show now that 3rd class does not define you. By how? Exactly. Registering and getting trained because you want to now achieve better opportunities. If you now say, oh, I have 3rd class, I cannot do masters, I cannot do this one. I don't want to come to Dr. Linda's class because maybe everybody there, they are going to get scholarship, they all have 1st class. There are lots of people in Dr. Linda's class will pass with 3rd class. People with HND, they are getting admissions in Canada with HND. Top schools, getting scholarships, and all of that. The first thing you need to do is remove that self-pity from yourself of having the grade that you have. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. I think this is where a lot of us lose it by saying, oh, sometimes we talk about the fact that I don't have time or I don't want to spend so much to do certain things to invest in myself because it's not worth it. Trust me, the return on investment you will get. You don't want me to start speaking that because that's another topic on this. Trust me. Just register. Me, I'm telling you now that register for the Monday class if you want to start preparing for 2022. Because this is December already. The year has ended. If you have your vision board, this is the right time for you to start like working on your vision board so that by next year you have your plan laid out for you. The best way to do it is take a step now. Let me register for this course now. Let me start it. And then next year, I know what I'm doing. I want to do my master's. I want to do my PhD. I want to learn this. I want to go to this field. But you can't do that except you take a step. Don't go and start saying, oh, I'm going to just go and check online, and you will still keep getting it wrong. You didn't learn online how to graduate from your university. You didn't learn your course online. If online can give us everything that we want, you will just look at it online and get whatever you want on social media. Like, just go and type it and search it, and you become an expert in that thing. But that doesn't work true, because, like I said, there are certain things you check online that are fake. There are certain things that are true. But how do you know what is real? How do you know what is fake? So get trained from the right source, and then work your plan towards ensuring that you're helping your family, you're helping your generation, you're helping your community. Because the truth of this whole study abroad thing, I won't lie to you, is that it's an investment not just for yourself, it's for your entire family. Once you're here, your life changes. It's not changing for you alone. It has changed for your entire family. So it's not you alone. So invest in yourself. Take the chance to be able to register for this course, to get trained. Watch the webinar. Just visit www.vantagemigration.com. www.vantagemigration.ca.com. Visit there, watch the webinar, get the training that you need to start on your journey for study abroad. Don't allow 2022 pass you by. We're seeing what COVID is doing, travel ban, all of those things. It might come a time when to travel abroad that will become story. Now that we still have the opportunity, take your chance now and do it before it gets too late.
Exactly. Thank you so much. That's powerful words for the person that is listening right now. And so, just like she said, I advise you to start with our free webinar at www.vantagemigration.ca. Or if you're watching this as a replay, you can check the description of the video. We're also going to put the link there. And of course, if you have any other question you would like us to clarify, please chat us inbox on any of our social media handles, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, right? Chat us inbox and we'll be able to answer you and all that, or even on any of those social media handles, Dr. Linda Iheme. But I'd start with the free webinar, because we talked about a lot of things and answered a lot of questions at the free webinar, www.vantagemigration.ca. But again, if you still have other questions left after you have completed the free webinar, chat us inbox and we will be able to answer you and point you in the right direction. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this particular interview. I actually had to be like, please, these people need to hear your story. These people need to hear your story. Come and share with us. It's very inspiring, isn't it? Her story is very, very inspiring. Please, if you're watching this video, could you drop a comment on what exactly you learned from this session? The one thing that you learned from this session, especially especially for people that have low grade of any sort, whether it's master's low grade, HND low grade, BSc low grade, whatever low grade, so that other people are, some people, they just want to just look at other people's comment and see, just to know what was talked about in the video. So tell us what you learned from this video, okay? Tell us what you learned. I'll also add the webinar link to the description of this video. Love you so much. Again, I'm Dr. Linda Iheme from Vantage Migration. Bye.